This is a critique for Amber, Cecilia, Jen, Jenny, and Keiko. So, different feedback for each of you. So, briefly, the goals of this assignment were to create a symmetrical or asymmetrical design that exhibits focal point in contrast. And some of you, Amber and Jen, decided to do the extra credit where you're using an artwork from the Cooper Hewitt as inspiration. So Keiko, Jenny, and Amber, the main bit of feedback that I have for each of you is that you'll want to use your mask layer. So just as in previous task twos, you want to turn on the mask layer so that the design is cropped, so that you have that flexibility. Let's see here. I've lost my layers panel. So you have that flexibility of having those forms extend beyond the bounds of the picture plane and having the design be neatly cropped. So, rather than illustrate here again how to use the mask layer, I'm going to direct you back to the milestone 1 task 2, or I think I've talked about this with all of you in your previous assignments in video feedback. So you just want to make sure to go back, review milestone 1 task 2, the videos there about how to use the mask layer, and also in previous feedback to you. Then Keiko and Jenny, the other area of feedback that I have for you is where you're using black. So I always like to say don't use this same color twice in 2 different designs. Be as experimental as possible. So, and I guess for you also white in yours, Keiko. So I'm going to add this note, black and white. So rather than having white function exactly the same in the design on the top as in on the bottom, why not try a different color in one? See how it functions. What is it like to have, say, a light yellow instead of black being in the same place in both? Consider another color. What if you use, say, a dark magenta? So I'd like you to experiment with how every aspect of the design can be different in one versus the other. Same thing with yours. Rather than using that thick black stroke, what if you used a thick red stroke? Why am I having trouble recoloring this? Anyway, so that's my thought for you. And then Amber, I love that you're inspired by this design from the Cooper Hewitt. Okay, so this is the design that you're working with. Now I know I say use this design as a starting point, and however you choose to depart from it is 100% up to you. However, I'm personally having trouble seeing the connection between the two. So if I were you, I might just incorporate a few more aspects of this design into this one so that you can really, so we can see the relationship, the connection a bit more. And then let's see here, Jen and Cecilia. I don't have any suggestions for you. I think both of you are taking this assignment to heart. You're using symmetrical aspects of the in these compositions. If I draw a line, let's see here, where'd my layers panel go? If I draw a line down the center, this design, or this half of the design, is the same as this, so this is a formal symmetric design. I love how you're working with contrast to emphasize focal point. So here, there's low contrast in hue, however, high contrast in value to emphasize this is the focal point. Here we see contrast in hue. And Jen, there's a very clear relationship between the design that you're using for inspiration, but I appreciate how there's real differences to, first of all, color, secondly, how the forms are arranged. I think you've added some buildings that weren't actually there in the original. They're just sort of in the spirit of um, the original. I keep losing my mask layer, or rather my layers panel, such as this one. So excellent work. I'll leave it here. Let me know if you have any questions.